Good evening, everyone. This is Brandy Fox coming again live with our Talk It Out session for the week. This week, we are talking all about Black nail techs. But first, I want to tell you what Talk It Out is. Talk It Out is our bi weekly talk show where we come up with solution based situations or any type of minority business problem that you're having. So every other week, we're talking about different things dealing with minority businesses. And our goal is to provide action-based steps to help you grow and expand your business, no matter what sector you're in or no matter where you are in your business startup process. So today, like I said, we'll be talking about Black nail techs and creating your own lane. What that looks like, how to gain customers. If you're thinking about being a nail tech, how to create your own lane, whether that means creating certain type of nails, specializing in certain type of nail services, having your own niche as far as dealing with only males, any type of area of nail service that you're looking to get into. We're going to be talking about those today and different ways to increase your revenue as a Black nail tech. So if you are on live now, please don't forget to share it with any of your nail tech friends, anybody that you think that may be interested and need this information. This is the live for them. So our guest for today will be Kay and Sheena with Portable Polish and what is that? Oh, Alpha Male Nail Care. Sorry, I'm trying to get my life together over here. But first, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. Well, joining me, not us. How are y'all ladies doing today?
Hi.
Very
Good.
well. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm super excited. We have so much nail history, y'all. So these are two of my favorite nail techs. I have a lot. I have some good ones, but my main business, Empress Mobile Massage Service, we did offer nail services for about 4 years. I think, yeah, 4 or 5 years. And Kay was one of my first. She was my first nail tech, and she actually, yeah, my first one. And she helped me build out my nail program for us. I'm so grateful to have her on here. She has almost like 20 years of nail experience. So she's gonna be dropping some gems on here today. And then I got my homegirl Sheena. We clicked when we first met. I love the fact that she was always about doing her own thing and specializing in male nail care. So with me specializing in mobile at a time where mobile wasn't as popping, and for her to specialize in male nail care at a time, and still is, men love is not
Mhm.
giving. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to nail care and providing the atmosphere where they feel comfortable. So I'm looking forward to talking about some of those things today. Sheena, let's start with you. Go ahead and introduce yourself, your company, how long you've been in, give the people all the jewels on you.
All right. Well, thanks again for having me. My name is Sheena Pickett, owner of Alpha Male Nail Care. We specialize in helping men put their best foot forward by providing them with the manicures and pedicures in a masculine space. This month will actually, we will be 8 years old this month. And I am so excited to be able to be in a season of expansion. I've got some contracts with some amazing barbershops in the area to begin adding Alpha Male Nail Cares in their barbershops and just expanding. I'm super grateful to be able to say expanding in the midst of a pandemic where there are a lot of businesses that have shut down. They don't know if they're even going to be in business this year, next year, or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. So for me to be in a space where I'm talking about, I'll be opening up 2 new locations this year. It is a tremendous
Yeah.
blessing,
Yeah,
and
that's
I am
awesome.
just excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to just build and grow and
Yeah.
to take myself to the next level of leadership, running a team, and just really bringing back the respect to the nail care industry.
Come
Yes.
on with the respect, girl, because we was
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
that earlier.
Yes,
We need
y'all
Yeah.
are dogging us.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, look. But hey, go ahead, drop us.
I'm Kay Abercrombie Gathers. I am the owner of Portable Polish. I have been an independent contractor um Probably this is actually 20 years. Actually, in June it'll be 20 years that I have been licensed to do nails. My business basically evolved from me doing nails like on location. Like, so instead of just sitting down inside of a salon, I wanted to kind of be out in the world. So I'm a mobile manicurist. I'm a little bit opposite of the expansion. I've kind of, the coronavirus and the whole COVID kind of had me go the other way now. So yeah, look, so I've kind of moved on to my plan B, but nails still in the future, still there, still licensed. That's a big thing too in the nail community.
We can still pull up on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's me under my plan B, but you know, I'm still here for the whole nail world. Like, I'm still here for it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I'm super excited. So like I told y'all, we got some experience on here today. We have somebody that has 20 years experience, somebody with 8. Then I got my little baby 5 over here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got almost 30 years of experience on this nail world. We about to drop on y'all. And I can honestly say the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic, number one, is like I said, I did offer nail services. And over my 5 years of offering nail services with Pamper Us Mobile Massage Service, I realized that there was a lack in the African American nail community. I've seen a lot of push for more African American nail techs, but I realized that the professionalism that needs to go with it has been lacking. Okay, I remember at one point, you know, back in the day, you was thinking about like, you know, potentially one day starting a school and really showing ladies how to run a nail business and not just, you know, making fancy nails, you know, doing sculpting, but to really be a nail tech and have that customer service piece too. So we're going to cover that today. But the first thing I want to talk about is kind of how somebody can get prepared to be a nail tech. And I know that knowing your numbers when going into the nail tech world is really important. So what are some tips that you would give somebody right now as they're preparing financially as to be a nail tech? And Sheena, we'll start with you and we'll roll right into UK.
Okay.
Well, knowing your numbers, that's like, we all know the cliche, the numbers don't lie. And when you are in the midst of wanting to start a business or anything you want to start, you need to have a plan. And I would just highly recommend that, you know, you sit down, you have a plan, but include what do you need to be making? What income do you need to be bringing in? What are your expenses that you're going to be incurring? Understanding how to like price point, understand what the market is asking for versus what you need to be generating, as far as like to keep your doors open, as well as for you not to be struggling and being desperate. Also knowing that your numbers are telling you a story. They're going to either tell you if you're failing or if you're success, if you have a profit or if you're losing. So it's important to not shy away from them, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like math. Oh, I don't know, or I'll just figure it out. Then you just winging it. Your back office is not as strong as it could be. And we know your back office is your foundation. So if you don't know your numbers and that's not your expertise, find someone who is passionate about that or has an understanding on how to read your numbers so that they can help you with your finances and your profit. And then if you put it in someone's hands that is knowledgeable, then that allows you to make room to do the things that you want to do in your business, knowing that someone is taking care of that aspect of your business. So don't be afraid to pay somebody to get and leverage their information when you aren't, if that's not your skill set. And even if it is your skill set, have someone, you need to have a second set of eyes. You need to have somebody in there that's not biased and that can help you be able to have a greater understanding of your finances and your numbers.
Yes.
Right. I agree. So, Kay, I know that you've been doing, I know you had did nails. You have been doing nails for 20 years. So what are some tips that you would give for ladies on how to manage? Like, did you have an accountant or did you use QuickBooks? Like, what would you suggest?
I would suggest, I think the hardest part for me was spending the money at first, really, spending the money when I made it. Because I didn't have any overhead, because I've been mobile most of my career. You know, you get the money, you do whatever, you pay bills or whatever. So my number one problem was not really paying attention to what I was bringing in. Like, if it wasn't for, you know, my bank account saying, here's what you brought in, here's what you spent, I wasn't keeping up with my expenses. I wasn't keeping up with my profits. I wasn't doing any of that. So I did have to eventually get into QuickBooks, especially when it comes time to start, when you start filing taxes and stuff. So yeah, I did have to learn to do that, because it was only me. So I had nobody holding me accountable, you know, as far, you know, I make the money, I spend it. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Right.
that was definitely a problem for me. Yeah.
Definitely. I appreciate your transparency in that, because I ain't gonna lie, girl, that was my problem too. I hate numbers.
Yeah.
Like, I like money, but
Yeah.
I was the same way until I hired my accountant, because I was stressed out. I was like, I know I'm missing something. I said, I need to know what I'm doing on a monthly basis so I can hold myself accountable. And y'all, it's some amazing, you know, you don't have to pay crazy for your accountant. It's some amazing accountants out here. Mine is amazing. If you need somebody that's cost efficient and gives you great service, please don't hesitate to inbox me and I will get you connected with her. She's affordable and she gonna get you what you need, all the numbers you need. So I definitely agree with that. So I know you guys are on two different levels, not even levels, two different ways that you offer service. So Sheena, you have a brick and mortar, and Kay, you are mobile. So I want to talk about the difference. For you, Sheena, what made you do the brick and mortar over mobile, and how was that expense wise? Like, how did you prepare yourself to find a building and all that, or a location?
Well, the thing I wanted to do is I did not want the headache of a brick and mortar, so that is why I decided that I wanted to partner with barbershops and bring in additional services, because all barbershops at this point, majority of barbershops, all they have are barbers. So when I go and introduce myself and services to the owner of a barbershop, I'm like, hey, you can add additional services. Plus, you can cut down on the overhead of having the whole responsibility of the space and all your barbers. So I wanted to partner with barbers. So I don't have the headache of looking for individual spaces, but being able to introduce new services to a barbershop atmosphere. And since we just cater to men, it's the perfect synergy, it's the perfect partnership in the grooming industry, and men are now beginning to want all their services in one space. So that helped me to kind of narrow down, like, I want to do a house concept with individual rooms.
Yeah.
But as of now, as we grow, I do feel like partnering with barbershops is the best way for me to kind of diminish that overhead space and be able to bring value to the barbering community by adding additional services and being able to be an additional stream of income for that business.
Yes.
And I agree. And that's perfect. And Sheena, I love that you said that, because I think a lot of times, especially nail techs, like, well, not even nail techs, I would say people in the cosmetology industry, like, I feel like it's so competitive all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got to be the best. So I love the fact that you took that kind of ego part out of it, and you was like, hey, you know, instead of being in competition with others, like, you know, who can I partner with to expand my business? And the barbershop is perfect, because it's no different than back. Well, they don't do it as much now, but you know, back in the 90s, I always think of Waiting to Exhale when they was in the beauty salon. You know, you got everything
I
done.
worked in the
You know,
barbershop early in my career too. I did the barbershop.
You did?
And she said that about no overhead. Like, I didn't have to buy fingernail polishes and stuff, you know, acrylics. Yeah. And so I definitely, that's a really good idea. Really good idea.
Yeah.
And for UK going mobile, what are some of the expenses, or what kind of I know it's no overhead, but what are some of the tips that you would give for mobile, like material wise, expense wise? How did that look for you being mobile?
Expense wise, you definitely have to invest in yourself. You have to be organized. You have to be knowledgeable on what you can and you cannot do inside of people's homes or, you know, wherever you may be doing nails. Like I said, I enjoyed it because I've worked in the nail salon. I've worked in a big chain nail salon. I worked in a barbershop, and I didn't like to just sit there all day just doing nails. So I preferred to be out doing different things. So the first time I did nails at like a fashion show, which is actually, it was for Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. And the amount of work that I did compared to the money that I made, I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is no way. I mean, it was just so much easier than just sitting in the salon for 8 hours doing nails and, you know, possibly getting back then probably $300. You know what I mean? Where I could go do one show in New York and make triple that. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, wait, do I pay somebody booth rent or do I just do mobile? So it was a lot of it didn't just happen because when I first started, I was going in people's houses with totes and bags and making 3 or 4.
Hey, girl, look, hey, like you about to move in or something.
Suitcases and stuff over my shoulder. So, but I had to learn. It's kind of like you have to sit back, and I feel like this is any business, whether you have a restaurant or whether you're doing nails, you have to kind of sit back and put yourself in the customer's point of view. You know, this person, even though I'm mobile, and they're liking me, you know, me coming to their house is really convenient for them. They didn't plan for me to stay at their house for 3-4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you really have to be really organized and you have to be like, I'm really, what do you call it? When I'm good with my time.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She pulled up with that little rolling bag. She popped that thing open. Up in there.
You have to be disciplined because you pretty much, I work for myself by myself. You know what I mean? So if somebody, and most of the time, you know, people would pay you in advance to come do it. So you have to be disciplined. You have to have quality products. You have to. There's no running to the store.
Come on, quality products, girl. Let's talk about quality
products. You cannot cut corners on your products. Like, you can't do it. Tried it. Look, I've tried it before. Like, you know, when I was walking around with beauty supply store nail polishes, you know what I'm saying? But you can't do it. I mean, your products are a representation of your business. So, you know, yeah.
I agree. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing that product piece because it be a mess sometimes. I ain't even gonna lie. So thank you for sharing that about like the organization piece because you know, I remember when I first when I was hiring new nail techs and I was like, hey, like you know, they asking me what they need, and I know one thing we talked about was like how unprepared students were when they came out of nail school. Like they literally came out of nail school and only knew the basics of doing nails.
Yeah, that's
and a lot of nail techs that I talked to after they got out, they said the same thing. They was like, you know, nail school taught me the basics, but I got my experience, my real nail experience when I hit the streets. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's so true. Yeah.
So I appreciated you. I remember you wrote me out a list. I was like, girl, I don't know what to tell them. And I remember you wrote me out a list.
That list if anybody needs it.
I'm about to ask for a consultation because I need a consultation.
I told Brandy, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing consultations with nail salons because people really need to know about this kind. You know, people feel like because they open up a business, like, my whole thing is just because you have a business does not make you a business owner. Like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's not equipped. Anybody can open up a business, but are you equipped to handle your business and run your business in the way that it should be run? And a lot of people think that, you know, I'm going to go buy some nail polishes and
hit the street. That's exactly what they think.
Yeah,
that ain't how it rolls, boo. That is not how it rolls.
Yeah, that's not. So I believe in quality.
Quality is important. Quality is definitely important.
Yeah, and
I'll pay for it. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, I was one of them $20 acrylic people. You know, I ain't gonna lie, and I like my $20 pedicure. You know, $45. I done got a mani pedi, and I'm out. You know, and
long as it lasts for the day. I got things
Yes.
to do.
I mean,
Yes.
get this done on Wednesday. I can make it through all the parties this weekend. It don't even matter about
Right.
But no, but I do agree that as I
Yeah.
upgraded and started investing a little bit more, investing more in my nails, you know what I'm saying? I definitely seen a difference. And it's made a difference in the nail shops that I've been to, because I've been to a lot. I've been to Black owned, I've been Asian,
Me
I've
too.
been to chain,
Me too.
and I finally found a nail tech that I really like. And I can say, as a customer that doesn't do nails, one of the things I love about her is she's always on time. Like when I come in for my appointment, like either the person is just getting up and she's sanitizing, or you know, I'm walking straight into a seat.
Time management.
Girl, that time management, and it make me feel so good. I'm like, when I walk in and I know this is my time, she waiting on me. That makes me excited. So I know time management can be crazy, and I know it's different. So of course, when I ask you guys these questions, Sheena, I would love for you to come from a perspective of a brick and mortar, and Kay, for you, come from a perspective of mobile. Just so if anybody is thinking about those two things, they kind of know which way to go. So, Sheena, when it comes to a brick and mortar, what are some things that you kind of do to enhance your environment for your male client?
I always like to focus on the 5 senses: what you see, what you touch, what they smell, what they taste,
good up in there, honey.
and what they
when I walk in there.
Yes, and how they feel. So with the site, you want to be clean. You want to make sure that you sit in like I always start my day sitting in the customer's seat. Where do they see when they look around? I like to smell, so I use a lot of essential oils because that also is a part of the experience. It's all about creating the experience. Sound, I make sure I have some cool, relaxing music. It's got a little knock to it. I'm dealing with men, but it's still very easy in what they see. Like I said, cleanliness, everything is in order. My space is not cluttered. And when you're dealing with men, it can be simple. So like a cool masculine aesthetic, as well as there's sports on the TV so they can watch that. And then sound is important. So the music, but I mute my TV because I feel like we're inundated. We're on the computer, we're in the laptop, we on Zooms. So to just be able to disconnect and create like an atmosphere where a guy, like you said, can take that time out, a self-care time out, and disconnect. And then of course how they feel, so and touch. So the nail techs are being able to understand that you're transferring energy when you're doing a massage, or you're massaging their feet and their hands. And for me, it's therapeutic when you get a foot massage, because your foundation is your feet. So massaging your feet and doing that for a guy, that changes his whole world. And for that 1 hour, it could be the difference between him going home and fucking shit up or going home and being relaxed and in ease and just being like, baby, what can I do for you? Or how can I'll take the kids off your plate right now. So it's a mental, physical, spiritual experience that I try to portray in that atmosphere.
Yeah,
I agree.
Definitely wear more than one hat. You definitely more than just the nail tech.
Right.
Yeah.
And she ain't lying. Everything she said, y'all, it's exactly like that. I haven't been to her new space, but her older space that was uptown, like when you walk in there, she got the big man chair, like it smells good. It's just a whole vibe. And I ain't even a man. I'm like,
it's a vibe.
Let me get one of the manicures, you know, with the man, like all caps. You know what I'm saying? Sheena, when you're saying that, it goes into that passion part. Like it's more than just doing somebody's nails. It's about creating that experience. And I love the fact how you talk about how, you know, by you allowing them to disconnect and relax, especially men, because I feel like men are really overlooked in the relaxed industry. It's like, it's like always women. I need to relax. I need a spa day. I need a self day. But, I really think that men need that same thing. And I feel like if we encourage, like you are, for men to have that self-care time, it gives them the ability to be better partners, better, husbands, better fathers, better employees across the board. So that's one thing I've always loved about your business model, is that it has a whole full holistic approach, instead of somebody just being like, I'm with the team, I got my nails. I'm like, bro, I'm with the machine and I got the experience. So,
The experience.
so
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. So Kay, I know that going mobile, it's a little different because you know you're not in your own element, so you can't really control. And you know, we've been to some houses. Look, we didn't been to some houses. So, what are some tips that you can give mobile nail techs on, you know, how to create that same type of environment, but on a mobile level?
You got to be professional. You can't go in there with your red, white, and blue Nike suit on, and you know, and not nothing against Nike, but I just always feel, and we were taught that you wear black. Black is professional. You can wear scrubs,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to look professional. You have, like I said, once again, your products, your layout, the way you carry your products, you want to be professional, and you're there to work. You're there to get in, and you're there to get out. You don't have nothing to do with people's personal business in their house. You're not there to eat dinner with them. Like you're not in there. You're not supposed to be in there.
They be trying to feed you though. They be like, yeah, you want like,
They do look, and we
you
eat
want to get a shot of this
sometimes.
Henny
Don't get
before
me
you
wrong.
go? No, I don't want a shot of this Henny. Then you go try to say I got drunk on the job. No, you trying to set me up.
So
No, I'm joking. Put it in the bottle. Put it in the bottle.
You have to go in and be professional, organized. Now, once you feel your clients out, you will know if that, you know, if you want to take a plate to go or something like that. But my main thing is professionalism and customer service, and like I said, minding your business, and you there to work. You get in, you get out, you get in. You have to have kind of like the same thing when you have to have a plan with how are you going to come in and you're going to set up. You're going to make your setup look pretty, because the whole thing is you're still trying to give that spa experience in these people's homes or in their office, or I mean, I in the church, the hotel. So you still want that spa experience. So with me being mobile, I did extra things like buy a chair massager or something you could plug in. They could sit on it while they're getting their nails done. So I kind of invested in just extra little things to make them feel a little bit, more comfortable in that spa experience. You know what I mean? Just kind of keeping everything as far as my setup, my outfit, everything to a minimum. Because like I said, you really don't want to be, when you're mobile, you're not there to cause a distraction. You're there to do your job and you're there to get out. So, just like anybody else that comes in your house, whether they're cleaning the carpet or whether they're spraying for insects, they always come in professionally. They have this protocol that they have to follow. And they get in, they do their job, and they get out. So that's pretty much what you want to do when you're being mobile. Like that's what, when we were doing nails for Pamper Us, that's what we were trying to, display. Like you want a protocol for coming in and doing nails. Like you don't really want to be all over the place. Like you just, yeah. So it's customer service, it's professionalism. Like, it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people have forgotten about.
Girl, the business basics, baby. The business basics. I mean, we got to get back. And we were talking about that because I think now, like, girl, and especially being a consultant and consulting a lot of startup entrepreneurs, like, and now, and I'm all about knowledge. I want people to get it where they can get it.
Yeah.
But now it's so many people out here just saying so much stuff. And I think that's why people are so confused in the business startup process.
Yeah.
And, you get focused on so many things like an LLC or, how can I market? How can I brand? And you don't even have the basics of a customer service. Like, when your clients call, what is your protocol on calling them back? Is it going to be same day? Is it 24 hours? How are they booking appointments? Do they have to, like, I don't want to text you and cash app you my appointment. I want to go, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to text you and I want to go on your website. Or even if you got an app, I want to go on your app and book my appointment. Get that text message telling me that I'm set. You know what I'm saying? So I think when people get caught up in business, they want to skip those foundational things and get straight to, I'm about to hook nails up. No, boo.
Yeah.
No,
boo. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I was on
in the nail industry, there is a lot of skipping steps that's going on right now compared to what we had to do, you know what I'm saying, to get licensed and establish our business. I mean, there's a lot of skipping steps. Yeah.
I was going to say I was on a live I was on a Zoom or something a couple of weeks ago, and he was like a multimillionaire in whatever industry he was in, but he was like the difference between him succeeding and like his competition. It came down to customer service. He was like the customer service, regardless of whatever
Yeah,
service product or
yeah,
anything you're doing, the distinction between his business being the one that the customers chose versus the business that was literally right next to him doing the
yeah,
same thing, it was customer service. So
yeah,
it's definitely key, and that's the thing that I focus on at Alpha Male Nail Care, because we're not doing acrylic. I just need you to know the basics when it comes to manicures and pedicures,
yeah,
because the guys aren't looking for acrylics and polishes and gels and all of that, but the
yeah.
customer service has to be superb. So like I'm really modeling my business after Chick-fil-A. Like
Girl, me
I
too in
want
Yeah,
public.
Chick-fil-A
Hey,
service.
Chick-fil-A in public is like my customer
yeah,
service goals. Like I'm
Yes,
like, how can I be
yeah,
like Chick-fil-A?
yes.
yeah. That makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense. That's true.
And you're right. And we talked about that earlier before we went live. We talked about customer service because I told you like I got people, when they call Pamper Us, they like, when we call them back within that 24 business hours, they're always shocked. They be like, I say a majority of my clients are like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for calling me back. And like
Yeah,
it's been like that, and it just blows my mind to the point where people are having businesses and you're
a
not
lot
doing
of
the basics. It's just calling somebody back. That's just
yeah,
Yes.
that's just that's money. For
yeah.
me, I
You'd be
like money, and all
surprised.
I gotta do is call you, and you
No,
got
I just
Yeah,
gotta call you. Yes.
yeah, you
Hey.
all
but
that's free.
it seems
That's
like
free. That's the thing that made me. That's free money. You already got
yeah,
somebody in your target market. That means if they calling you, they either
yeah,
ready to spend money now or they considering it. And you answering
yeah,
that phone or you calling them back. That's the difference
yeah.
between getting that customer and losing them to another nail tech.
Yes.
That's true.
And their
That's
whole
true.
network. Their
Yes.
They
whole
go follow.
concept, the
Yeah.
referral. Mm-hmm.
That's a word. People always say,
Yep.
how did you become mobile? How did you get this job? I never advertised myself as being mobile my whole career. I didn't really start doing it until after people was like, you need to advertise yourself as being mobile. Everything with me was word of mouth. Just because, and I'll tell anybody, I know I'm not the best nail tech. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't do a lot of the stuff, and I probably can do it. I just don't want to. You know what I
She
mean? I
don't,
don't
she
got
like
time to sit down and
she
do
don't
all
get
that.
the smack. She's like, I mean, that's a
But
young
I
nail
know
tech
I'm not the best nail tech, but when it comes to customer service and professionalism and quality and
and
all that stuff,
quality.
that's
Yeah.
my background. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my background. Like, I just happen to be a licensed nail tech too. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Right.
and customer service is obsolete. It's not just the nail industry. It's all of these. It's even when you go in the grocery store now. People, you could go to the register and people, the cashier won't even say, how are you doing? You know what I mean? So customer service is kind of, it's just becoming obsolete. Like, compared to when I was young and like my first jobs as a teenager, it was like when the customer hits the door, you speak, you
You
acknowledge,
smiling.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but people,
Mhm.
that is not, I don't think they even discuss that anymore. They just hire them and let them go, I guess. I don't know.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's the problem. That is the problem.
Yeah,
So,
that is.
Mhm.
so we talked about a little bit earlier about investing in yourself as a nail tech. Sheena, when you say investing in yourself, people automatically, of course, think of money. But what are some ways outside of money that, as a nail tech, you have invested in yourself and growing your brand?
Reading, reading, and reading. It is the greatest way to, we all know readers are leaders, and
Yeah.
that's how you increase your income is by knowing knowledge and applying it. Like you can read all
Yeah.
day, but if you don't put any execution to it, it doesn't matter. But yes, reading, going on a Zooms and webinars, YouTube
Yeah.
University,
Yeah.
taking classes, and just
Yeah.
constantly just informing yourself on every topic, on a lot of different subject matters, because it's important. You'll get more out of a book, and it's cheaper than going into a classroom these days, and it's safer actually. Audio
Right.
book is easier now. You can just listen to your books, and I just
Yeah.
think it's just a prime time to just suck up all the knowledge. There's no
Knowledge.
excuse now. If you got a phone, you you have
Yeah.
access to the whole world.
Yeah.
So I definitely would tell individuals to constantly invest in yourself, mentally, when it comes to reading, as well as also your health, like working out, meditation, eating healthy, all of
Come
those
on,
things play a
meditation.
part. Mm-hmm.
That meditation is key in this business
Yeah.
world, honey, because you be needing
It
that. You be needing
matters.
that extra guidance and
It
patience, honey.
matters. Health is wealth, and wealth is health. So it definitely goes both ways.
I
Yes.
agree. And Kay, how about for you? What are some ways outside of money that you feel that nail techs can invest in themselves as they continue to grow their business?
The same thing. You gotta continuing education is definitely the key for nail tech. So like you have to, like she said, it's a good time now to get the knowledge. People are having one-on-one Zoom sessions as far as, learning products, learning about different techniques, you know what I mean? So you really have to do a lot of continuing education to keep up with the trends and to know, to keep up with the fads, all of that stuff. So yeah. And I mean, my plan B was I was like, let me go back and get my bachelor's degree. Like, let me finish school because eventually I knew that I was going to step away from doing nails. So, I kind of invested in myself in that. But my major was, I pretty much majored in marketing because of my business. You know what I mean? And that kind of also opened up my eyes and let me see a lot of I mean, I'm not the greatest when it comes to marketing my business, but when it comes to, other things that I feel like can kind of draw my business into other people, like just kind of like increase my contacts and where the mobile nail tech might come in. Yeah. So it was kind of good with that. Yeah.
I agree, and I love that education piece. I love how you said, you went back and got that marketing degree, because I think sometimes, I feel like in entrepreneurship, it's like a mixture of, growth and innovation and
Yeah.
tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? You want to have
Yeah.
tunnel vision on the foundation of your business, like why you started. Like for Pamper Us, my goal with Pamper Us from the rip was to make spa services affordable. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because when I started in 2011, normal people, normal middle class people wasn't having massage therapists coming to their house. It was something
Yeah.
that, wealthy people did. So
Yeah.
I took something that was normally, out of reach, and I made it accessible to everybody. That was my
Yes.
goal. With Be the Entrepreneur, my goal was to streamline the business startup process to help minority business owners start their businesses the right way. So
Yeah.
that's my tunnel vision. But with Pamper's mobile massage service, it's called mobile massage service, but I offer like 8 other things in addition to massage
Yes.
therapy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I have tunnel vision and I know that massage is my money, but I also want to stay competitive in the industry by being able
Yes.
to innovate and diversify the services that I offer. So
Yeah.
I
There
think
you
that's
go.
really,
Those
yeah,
are the words I couldn't think of. Innovate and diversify.
Yes, I'm taking notes.
terminology, girl. I drop some terms. I'll be ready. But no,
Yeah.
it's key. Diversification. That ties right into the plan. That ties right into the plan B. Like I know for
Yeah.
me, like when I jumped
Yeah.
into Pamper Us, when I started this, 10 years ago, I was like, I was a social worker. I have a degree in social work. So if anything ever was to
Yeah.
fail, we have anything, Lord willing, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I can always be a social worker. I can literally
Yeah.
go and be a social worker somewhere. And I
Yes.
would be, I would be cool with that. I mean, no, I'm
Yeah.
lying. That'll be the last
Yeah.
resort because once you go into
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, it's real hard to transition
It's
back into that
hard to go back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tried.
I did too. I did
How was
too.
it
I
going
did
back
too.
after? Because I haven't been back since I went all the way out. So how was that?
It's not that
Yeah.
even I wasn't getting hired, and so I was like, okay, and then you just be under pressure, like, oh my god, I got to get a job, I got to get a job, but then you're
Yeah.
like, no, I don't think I really, really, really want to do that,
Yeah.
and so I just kind of go along. But then I had to be like,
Yeah.
let me like not think of that
Yeah.
as my plan B, but just figure out
Yeah.
how do I, like you say, innovate and diversify the skills and
Yes.
talents that I already have and bring another solution to the marketplace. And
Yeah.
so you start doing that and you're like, oh, okay, let me pivot a
Yeah.
little bit. Like I wrote in my
Yeah.
notes, if we were ever to talk, like how did COVID like stress test your business, and it caused a lot of us to have to pivot our passions and find
Girl.
new ways to be able to serve the market. And so that's the joy of being an entrepreneur. Like, you go to a job, you have this job title, and you have that job title for years and decades, but I can turn the next day and be like, you know what, this is who I am, and turn and do something different and still be, able to generate income and be doing it the way I want to do it.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. The way I want to do it. That's a blessing and a curse. Like, it's a blessing because I can do it the way I want, but it's a curse. I'm like, I want everything the way I want.
Everybody do it.
It don't work like that. But one thing, Sheena, I love that you said, and I want to piggyback on, is the funding. I know when I talk to a lot of nail tech, especially when they're just getting out of school, one of their issues is getting the materials. Like, how do I get the materials? Where do I find the materials? All that kind of thing. And I wanted to talk about bootstrapping, or also known as self-funding. Y'all, it's okay to have, multiple jobs. Like, even though nail tech might be your passion, it might be what you want to do, you might have to do something to suffice it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, when I first went full time with Pamper Us, you know what I'm saying? I would say for the first 2 years, like, I was Ubering and I was lifting, like, literally doing both of those to be able to run my business and do that. And some people don't want to do that. Like, I don't know how they expect to make money, but people are not really looking for the hustle. So, Sheena, going into a brick and mortar, I know, you got booth rent, you got that overhead. So what are some of the ways that you kind of I guess, like, kept yourself afloat during those times of transition, like COVID, those type of things? What are some tips you can give to kind of be able to kind of roll that thing?
It's about multiple streams of income. Like, it's about how do you diversify your income. And I was able to do that. And retail is important. Like, every business should have a retail product. And now more than ever, you can now have a digital product where you don't even have, you just do I created a course, a financial literacy course. You put that online, and that constantly is online and generating income. And I don't have to do that course anymore. I mean, you can update it, do different versions of it. But yes, having multiple streams of income was super important. In addition to having to transition from corporate America into entrepreneurship, it was important that I had a great understanding of my numbers. So I was able to link up with a financial firm. And by doing that and understanding how money works and how to make it work for me, I'm a licensed associate with this particular financial firm, which is another way for me to, that's one of my niches, to bring financial education to the beauty and grooming industry, because we get money, but like you said, you get the money, you spend the money, you don't know where it's going, it's coming in, and you just spending it out. So during this season, I've been able to help other beauty grooming pros, cosmos, be able to understand their money, financial literacy, and then how to diversify and learn and have multiple streams of income.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true. How about for you, Kay? I know you were mobile, so of course, your overhead was not, it wasn't as crazy, but I know it can get crazy, with doing mobile nail service. What are some ways that, you kind of maintain, like, if mobile got crazy, what are some ways that you kind of like pivoted or got that extra income?
Pretty much just like she said, multiple streams of income. But also with me, like, I'm the type of person, like, sacrifice is my thing. I'm the person that everybody else is spending $200 on some J's, but I'm gonna go take my $200 and I'm gonna buy 20 bottles of nail polish. So you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like with, I didn't start off with, nobody funded me, nobody handed me anything and say start a business. Nobody said, here, with the exception of a lot of people don't know this, especially nail techs, but when you do have a business and you're a legitimate business, there are a lot of companies, like nail polish companies or just any kind of nail companies, that anybody that kind of like produces nail products, they will actually give you products if you email them.
You will getting all that. You were getting all the products.
Email them and tell them, you kind of got to give a little backstory and say what you need the products for. But here's where the marketing degree came in. But it's free marketing for the companies. But other than that, so that's what I kind of did. And other than that, it was sacrifice. If I got some extra money, I'm gonna go buy some files. Stuff that I know that I'm gonna need. And then if somebody, my mom says, well, what do you want for Christmas? I want an Amazon gift card because Amazon has a nail, a gel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just sacrifice. It really was. Everything out of pocket, all sacrifice. Yeah.
And I love it. And I love
not having the overhead made a big difference. That does make a big difference.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love when you talked about priorities. And I think that's key. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Knowing what to spend your money on, knowing that, you could get your nails done. I mean, you could get your hair done. You could go out to eat. Or you can buy this new, I think about something as simple like mobile, like your lamp. Like, I loved your little LED, light lamp. It was perfect. No batteries. You could carry it anywhere. I love investing in other things that make your business better. I think that's what's important. And y'all don't be afraid to use that Amazon wish list too. So like another way that y'all can get stuff is the Amazon wish list. So what the Amazon wish list basically is when you go on Amazon, like especially if you're just getting out of school, this is the perfect graduation gift. Like go on Amazon, create a nail list or a nail list on your Amazon account, and then put everything that you need into that wish list. And you can email that wish list out directly to people or get the URL. And they can buy it. And they can buy you products and ship it to you. It's like a registry for your business.
Like a registering for a new baby or whatever.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And you can share that link with other people and they can literally buy it and send it to you. And once they buy it, it'll mark it out your list. So this is an easy way for you to kind of get that money because you ain't gotta be like, oh my, or asking your friends, can I get $100? Can I get $20? No, you ain't even gotta give me the money. Hey, this is what I need to start my business. And you just buy it. And I guarantee you, if you do it that way and people know exactly what they're buying, I guarantee
you're gonna love it. That's a great idea. I was thinking, like, I've been hearing this business showers, like baby showers, and then having Amazon as your registry. So for all those that are starting their new business, like, hey, do a little cute flyer. I'm having a business shower, and this is my registry. You can get all that you
People actually do. I feel like it works better than GoFundMe. Because people always, I hear a lot of people give GoFundMe like a negative, vibe or whatever. But the Amazon wish list, people, like you said, when people know exactly what kind of products you're buying and using, they have like a different level of respect because they see that you're not cutting corners and
and they probably would spend more.
They will. They will. They will. I can buy her like, for them 20 nail polishes, that might be $50, or $60. Bro, that's 20 nail polishes. That means that's 20. You know what I'm saying? That's a starter kit.
Yes. Yes.
That is an amazing idea.
I love it. I love business showers. That's something that I did with Pamper Us. Like when I needed more materials, like when I opened my mobile massage bus, when I opened the Pamper Lounge, I was like, I need some products. And like, I had family and I had friends and I had people that supported me and bought some of the stuff that I needed on there. So I was so grateful. And, that's definitely something I want to share with other people.
Out of the pressure off. You already got to deal with everything else. And people want to help you. These are people who genuinely want to help you succeed. So you will be surprised that people really will look out. Yeah, and you don't feel like you're begging.
Not at all. So since we're about to be 8 years old, we're about to have a little business anniversary. I'm about to do a little wish list. That is awesome.
Yeah, you should. And you need to contact those nail companies and have them.
Oh, yeah, because you got the experience.
Yeah, and you actually have.
I'm about to reach out to UK for a consultation because I really want to pick your brain.
Portable nail consultancy. Come on, portable.
Yes, I'm giving you a plan B.
Tricks of the trade up my sleeve. Seriously, something I don't use and I should for real. Yeah. I'm proud
So
of you.
outside,
Opening a brick and mortar has never been my dream. Like that would be
me
other
neither.
people would be like,
Mhm.
people would be like, you know, you should open up a nail salon. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-mm.
But it never
Right.
really was because I just felt like it was just so much pressure. So I'm really proud of you for doing that. Like, you know what I mean? And not only one, but two and three and all of that. Like that's a big thing. I'm proud of you for doing that because I know
I appreciate
that
that.
sometimes I know it could be, you know, stressful and you got, you know, you really trying to excel. So that's a really good thing for especially
Yeah.
during a pandemic. Like not a lot of people could say that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I will say the key is I'm keeping it boutique. I
Yeah.
have no more than like 2 to 3 chairs. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to have a whole warehouse of
bunch
chairs and
yeah.
everything. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I was able to really open up so quickly because
Yeah.
it's just me right now,
Yeah,
but I was already COVID proof. We were already in a room wearing masks, one-on-one, sanitizing between the chair. Because if you only have one chair to take care of, it better
then
be
you're gonna
clean.
take care
Like,
of the
you always
children.
have that.
Right.
I remember
Yes.
seeing your pictures on social media like years ago. So I remember your setup. Yeah, I remember because I remember the recliner chairs, and I'm like, "Ooh, wow, that's nice."
Yeah.
Mhm.
That big old comfy chair, girl. I sat in that thing. I said, I feel like I ain't even no man, but I feel like a king in this chair.
Yes, I remember you had a Valentine's
Mhm.
special for the guys, and I was like, nobody's doing that. Nobody anywhere was doing nothing like that. So yeah,
No.
that really stood out. And I didn't even know you. I just had came across your Facebook page one day, and I had been following you, and I'm like, she is seriously doing something that nobody else is doing in Charlotte. Seriously, yeah, nobody was focusing on the guys. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I agree. So in closing, as we close out, I want to go out into our final topic, which is finding a niche. So as y'all know, it's so many different niches available within the nail industry. You know, and hey, I want to start, and I know you kind of talked about this earlier, but just to kind of close it out, what was your main reason with going with the mobile niche, like focusing on that? What made you want to do that outside of doing any other form of business like nail service?
Probably the less work, more money. That was like the main thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be honest, like that was the main thing because I'm getting older. And when I first started doing nails, I would be running all over Charlotte, going this place, going that, and my body was like, like you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of, or either even in the salon, you in the salon all day long. So it was more. It started with the less work, more money. But then I'm a Gemini, so I don't kind of like the same. I can't. I've been there, done that, 9 to 5 every day. I'm doing the same thing every day, same place, same office, same parking space, and I just could not. I'm just not that person. So I don't even remember. Like I think it just started with family and friends saying, "Can you come to my house and do my nails?" And and it started with that, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like I can literally be everywhere doing what I love. You know what I mean? And then it kind of expanded into the fashion industry, and then it was like I'm never going back. But I did go back, and when we were discussing multiple streams of income, I did go back and I did work in a salon for a major chain. But I mainly did it for the 401k and the insurance.
Come on, baby, because I miss them benefits. I ain't even gonna lie, honey. Them benefits.
A lot of us don't have. You know what I mean? We don't have retirement plans and stuff. So I went back part time, like literally part time, just for the 401k in the insurance. Yeah.
I agree.
I can help you with that. I can help you put your benefits package together. So that's the thing that I'm really, a lot of us don't know that we can set up our own, and they are actually better than what the corporations and the company are offering you. So I definitely, we're going to talk anyways, but yes, I definitely want to help you with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And Sheena, pivoting over to you, what made you want to go strictly male? Because I know when I first met you, even when I had females, I remember when we first met, I was like, well, you was like polishes and stuff. You was like, I don't know. You was like, I'm gonna try, but you was like, how many men you normally do? I was like, well, not this. I was trying. So what made you like go with males, specializing in males, and kind of sticking to that market, especially in the fact, that's not what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Simply because I've always kind of went to the beat of my own drum. And like you said, I didn't want to work harder. I wanted to work smarter.
Yeah.
The lane was super wide open, and it still is. But the mindset of men is evolving now. Like you said, we said earlier that the whole self-care, beauty, grooming industry totally left out guys. But now they're understanding they need a break too. They need a massage. Skincare is important. Oh, my hands and feet do look a little rough, and it does feel good to sit down and have somebody cater to me. And so seeing that, the lack of any self-care services, really, it just really was like, hey, and it was easier work. I'm not dealing with the acrylics. I'm not dealing with the polish. You're not dealing with women like, oh, I want this color nail. I need an art, and I need you to do this. They just don't care.
Look.
Yes. And so
a Gucci nail.
Yeah, they don't want all that. It really is.
I seen the one where the girl put the baby coming out the like womb, like it had a.
I've seen that. It can get intense.
Wait, I hadn't seen that one yet. Like, oh my god!
I saw it on Instagram, like the baby was coming out, and I'm like, bro, like you should just got the baby. You just got the baby initials on your name. Maybe I'm old school, like I just would have got the initials. But you got a whole girl, a whole pregnancy.
I'm telling you, it's a $1 billion industry. It really
is. It's wide open, and it's just easier because guys are definitely more focused on health and wellness. Like they don't care about that white strip being perfectly. They just get excited that somebody is just taking the time to rub on their hands and feet. Let them sip something, little alcohol or a little cocktail. Just to take that time, that 1 hour to just unwind and be served so they can serve.
Yeah, that's true.
I totally agree. I definitely totally agree.
It's kind of the same thing with mobile and with the elderly. Like going mobile allowed me to deal with the elderly a lot easier. Yeah.
I agree. The elder population, now let me tell you something. Now, if any nail techs is watching this live or you share it and watch it later, this community, that is the money. We did a lot of nursing homes, a lot of older people, because y'all, they can't get out on them. They don't want to get out and they can't get out. So if you are a nail tech looking for a niche,
and now more than ever, because they can't leave.
Yeah, that would be the bomb if that is something that everybody's not fit to handle it. But if that is
it's a special person. You gotta be a special person.
Don't do it just for the money. Like
you
gotta be
population.
You gotta have your patience and compassion to deal with.
Right.
You do.
You can't just be a nail tech. Yeah.
Right.
That is a fact.
Yeah. This is so informative.
I'm glad y'all joined me. I want to talk before we go off. I want to talk about our Be the Entrepreneur giveaway. Basically, you can win a free 30-minute consultation session with me. In that 30 minutes, you can ask me any startup business question that you have, branding, marketing. You think you got an idea and you want to know if it's feasible, I can help you with that. Or, what I've been getting a lot of is people who have like 5 ideas and they trying to figure out where to start. I can help you organize that. So we're doing a free 30-minute giveaway. All you have to do is go to my IG at the.entrepreneur and share any of my posts. It don't matter which one it is. Just share any of my posts on your regular page and your IG story. The first person to do that will be the person that gets that free 30-minute consultation session. So that's all we're asking for. And once you get chosen, I will be the social media outlet that you shared on, and we'll get connected for your free 30-minute session. So in closing, I want to say thank you again, Sheena. Thank you again, Kay. I always like to close out with one piece of advice. So, Kay, let's start with you this time. what's one piece of advice that you can give any nail tech, a new nail tech that's getting into the industry, looking to grow into the industry?
Brush up on your customer service.
Come on, let's get to the basics. And do pedicures. Let's before we get off.
Yeah, do pedicures. You know what? This is my personal most important piece of advice to any nail tech. Go get your license. Just because you know how to do acrylic because you watch YouTube videos does not make you a nail tech. Go get your license. It's a lot of women out here, girls, that are doing nails, but they're not properly licensed. Like, there's a reason why we go to school and take this test. Like, it's more than just doing acrylic. You have to know about diseases. You have to know about protocol when people have certain illnesses. You have to know that stuff because you're placing people's lives in jeopardy. So get your license, like, period.
Absolutely.
Right. Even pregnancy, because I learned, even when I hired y'all, I learned that, certain levels of pregnancy, it's not good to get those pedicures and ignite the labor pains and whatnot. So I didn't know that until y'all told me. They was like, she passed.
There's certain massages you can't give when people are taking insulin. Like, it's just different things. Yeah. So you have to know that. And the only way, not the only way you can know that, but the main way to know that is to get licensed.
Going to school.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And Sheena, how about you? What is one piece of advice that you would give an aspiring or new nail tech that's trying to get their feet wet in the business?
Mentorship. Find someone that's doing what you're doing or living the lifestyle, making the money that you want to make, and reach out to them and ask for some mentorship. We all need help. So if you say, hey, I just want to come shadow you, I'm here just to let me serve you, be in your circle, I definitely would say mentorship because I started off doing it by myself. And granted, there was not a lot of nail techs that looked like me at the time. And the other communities weren't as open. They weren't really opening up the door. So I did have to kind of piece it together. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have saved a lot of time, energy, and money by finding me a mentor to be able to shadow and be able to be under that covering and continue to learn. So mentorship and partnership, like we said earlier, don't be afraid to partner. Like I had read a quote, the thing that you think is your competition is really it's really a collaboration. So understanding is collaboration over partnership or collaboration over competition. That's the quote. Right. But don't be afraid to reach out and partner with other people. Build you a team because you can't do it by yourself, and nor do you want to do it by yourself. And there's abundance out here, so never think that there's not going to be enough. So I'll leave with that.
I agree with that. There's enough money out here for everybody. Like they said, nail tech is like $1 billion industry now. So you got it. And if you live in Charlotte, you definitely got it. Because I see people looking for nail tech multiple times a day. So, but thank you, ladies, again. Once again, if you have not, do not forget to do our giveaway. Go to my Instagram page, b.d.entrepreneur. Share any post to your story or to your page. Tag us in it, and the first person who does that, you will get a free 30-minute session. But with that being said, thank you guys for joining us, and good night.
Thank you.